Okay, this is going to be the learning how to understand Spanish, the reading part. Now, what you're going to need is you're going to need a newspaper in Spanish, a comic, or anything that has Spanish writing in it. And you're going to need your notebook and a highlighter. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to highlight all the pronouns that you know in Spanish. And I'm going to give you some later on. And in this video. And so the next thing you do is you highlight those words, and you it's kind of like you're reading. You read it, and the words you don't know, you're gonna look it up on the online dictionary or translator, which I'm gonna provide you up here on the side. And when you do that, you're gonna get those words. You're gonna write them on the notebook, and on the left side is gonna be all the Spanish words down on the bottom like that. And on the right side is going to be all the translations of what it means in English. So you're going to write these down, and you're going to continue your reading. You're going to continue getting the words down on the notebook, continue your reading, and eventually you pretty much won't know the word, you won't remember it. But eventually, day by day, when you're still doing the reading in Spanish and everything, you'll pick it up. You'll see one word that constantly is being repeated, and that word, I mean, when you don't know it and you see, oh, I've seen it so much, and you go back to your notebook and you look it, and you see, oh, wow, okay, this is what it means, okay. And eventually you pick up the word by seeing it so often, you remember it. I mean, you don't really have much effort to do it. It just comes naturally because you see it so often. And what you eventually do is you're going to get the words down eventually, little by little, and you'll know 98% of the language, or you pretty much know everything, or mostly everything that's being said, either in the newspaper or in the comic or whatever you're reading. You pretty much will understand. And when you start doing that, the next step you're going to do is you're going to get a simple short sentence. You're going to get it, and you're going to keep it in your arsenal. You're going to write it down on another page. This is a word that you're going to use when you speak. I mean, it's a word that you're going to try to get a word that you could pretty much use with anybody, and it's simple. I mean, because the grammar is always going to be correct, so you don't have to worry about having the right grammar. You won't have to worry about making up your own sentences. Now, this word, every time you see the person, you're going to mention this simple sentences. I mean, you might not be able to say anything else, but just that word will get you in the habit of being able to speak in Spanish and not be afraid of saying, oh man, what if I messed up? Even if it's just one, you can just say it, and then the rest of the rest of the day you're speaking, you can speak in English. I mean, you can tell them, well, I don't know it, but I know this, and the person will help you try to understand the language or try to teach you something, and you're gonna benefit. Trust me. So that's why this is just gonna be just understanding the language. You're gonna do this on a day-to-day basis. This is gonna be one of the things you do in the 1 hour. You're gonna have to put at least 1 hour of study. I mean, eventually, if you want more, then yeah, you could more. But 1 hour a day, and this is gonna be one of the steps you do. Now, I'm gonna mention on the other video the second step, which is gonna be watching dramas and movies in Spanish. Now, the reason I want you to watch dramas and movies in Spanish, it's because you'll be able to understand when they're speaking. I mean, one thing's reading, the other thing's speaking. So you kind of understand the sound. And the watching, the reading, and everything, these are casual. These are on a day-to-day basis, the way they speak in Spanish. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is it too polite or is it wrong? You pretty much will understand. So with watching and everything, I'm going to tell you what to do when you're watching and how to improve the language in Spanish. Trust me, you pretty much will understand. I mean, if you're doing the studying, if you're writing the words down, the verbs, everything, and you're listening to it, you're reading it, and you're speaking it a little bit, you pretty much will pick it up in a month. You pretty much will know the basics. And you're going to be amazed at how much you'll know. Trust me, you will. Okay? So just stay tuned, and you can click on the next video on the side, and we'll see what happens. I mean, post your comments and everything. If you have any questions or anything, I can help you out, because I am Mexican. I am a native speaker, so I mean, I can at least tell you kind of what a word means, and you won't be too harsh. But yeah, it'll be pretty good. You'll see how much you improve.